let's talk a little bit about some of the work you're doing in the states, because you have turned, not only, you don't only work with Congress, you work with folks in the states, and there is there are opportunities while we are in these dark times to push forward and make progress in states and localities, and to in part in response to what's happening in the federal government, but also just in general. So obviously a lot of our listeners are state and local elected officials, or people who work for them, or people who aspire to be them. And I would love for your thoughts on thinking about, if you're on a city council or in a state legislature, what are some of the things you tell lawmakers to think about when they think about whether they're on a committee that has oversight jurisdiction, or whether they're thinking about a new piece of legislation, or the ways to think about oversight from the beginning. How should lawmakers think about oversight at the state and local level?
Well, I think the place to start is actually something that really connects with the New Deal, because what you've created is this amazing network of state and local elected officials. And what we find, we have worked with Congress for years and with state legislatures for quite a while. But in the last couple of years, we've started to work with local governments, with large cities. And what we found is that the closer you are to implementation, which is really city government, local government, the more, this is common sense, the more you're tuned into the realities of implementation. So I think there's much to learn from the experiences of people in local government that can inform how we should be designing policy at the state level and federal level. And it should begin with this notion of how much we know and how much we don't know, I guess. We need to focus on what people are actually experiencing with government, the capacities that are on the ground and in place, what we know, those things, and then what we don't know is are exactly what something's going to cost, exactly how implementation is going to roll out. I think this is a powerful point. Jen Paulka makes this point quite compellingly, and there are some other people making this point, I think, quite well too. And that is that budgets and estimates are only that, estimates. And when you're in local government, you get that because you realize that you see the full picture of what it is to roll out and actually serve the public. And so the more we can take advantage of our federal system, frankly, and listen to people at the local level and test out how things really roll out and occur, the better off we're going to be in terms of trying to make government much more effective and efficient. So I think the New Deal, you're almost in a unique position because you're creating these opportunities for people, both at the state and local level from different states, to share information with each other. And I really think that's a path forward in terms of making the design of public policy much more centered around the people's experience with government, how both the beneficiaries, the people receiving the service, but also the frontline workers who've got to deliver the service, whether they're coding, a website, or they're delivering meals, or serving people in a, DMV office or something like that.